Hello, welcome back to Totally Random. So this will be the part 3 of the silicon versus clay. So this has gone on long enough. So just for anyone who's been following along, this is a position you'd be at after, well, if you've watched the other video, and there'll be one that'll be uploaded, which will be a part 1. So the last one will end up being part 2, and this will be a part 3. But as they sit currently, this is the key we made with the little cutout in it. So it's got that space there for the tension wrench. So that opened it nicely. Just prove that. So that's from the clay cast. There's an old one here which I'm not even sure I should put in the lock, but that's why. Right, and that's why I mentioned having key extraction tools and things like that on hand. Now we're going to melt that bit of metal in that 1, 2. So without further ado, I'll pull that out and come back. Whilst I keep a few tools for extracting keys, this is one of them. I don't recall where I bought it. This is another one. It's got very fine hooks on it. So, seeing that we know, no, we don't. So, there you go. Usually they come out fairly easily. So, let's slow this down a bit. A little bit of metal. I keep the, as I explained in another video, the dental putty, and not the dental putty, the dental wax in there in the case that I was going to use it for lost wax casting. That didn't go in the right way. And doesn't want to come out. Let's see about it. Flathead, nope. We'll just brute force it out. And we've managed to break that. Right. That seems to want to fit in this one. So this is a good part about the one with tearing it, yep. So we're at a bigger disadvantage. Check the back of both of them. Okay, so that's the smooth side, and I'll try and stay in shot. That's the smooth side, so that will fit in there. This guy will fit in there. If we close it up, everything looks as it should. That's not sitting as deep as I'd like it to. I'll just pull this back and up a bit so you can see a bit better. I was trying to keep this short and sweet. Righto. Get that together. I'm not going to use the tension wrench technique or idea with this one. I just want to double check something before I finally clamp this together and start pouring into it, because something's not sitting right. No, that's the right cast. They're both off center, so that doesn't really matter. There's a video where one of the, I think this mould actually casts a key, so I'm not really doing anything new other than sort of saying that, yeah, that clay works, but we'll see. In 6 months, does that still work? We'll see. I'm going to go heat up some metal, come back, pour it, and we should be off to the races. So that's what I'm going to go melt. The key I just broke, and I'll be back in a tick. Okay, so I'll grab that metal, we'll pour it and see how we go. Okay, big piece of slag in there I don't like the look of. And I'd say that's a failed cast, just based on experience. Far too much has come out down here. I don't think we're getting a proper seal across the bottom. There's a lot of metal over here, the other side. Usually got to undo it to get it that, bend it a bit. I can't see the top of the key head, so we may have to do this twice. Yeah, this is where all the metal ended up down here. We've got a problem with the chimney. Part of a Medeco key. Piece there, piece there. This is going to seem awfully ironic, or not. I might just drop a bit of wax in there to stop it running back out down into this area. So I'll quickly do that. I'm just going to take this jet lighter and melt that piece of wax there so it fills up that little area. Because currently what I was doing is blocking. Well, it's not blocking, it's not blocking. Yeah, you can probably see where it spilled before. So we'll just clamp that up. Now don't expect that to seal and stick to the silicone because it's not designed to. However, we should have a bit of a plug. And it hasn't solidified yet, so while it's in that state, I'll just roll this back over, clamp it back up, go heat up some metal, come back, we'll pour this little bit of crap back into it and see if we get a key from that. Rightio. And just a quick tip, I just cleaned off this area of the brass. You'll find that these fusible alloys will pick up, you know, little bits of clay, little bits of graphite, little bits of talc and other things like that. And you'll end up with slag in it, so that's what it looks like when it's melted. What I'm just going to do is pour that out there, tap that out. You can watch that solidify for a moment or two. And most of the crap would be easy to just knock off the top. So, and the rest would be, the ladle's clean now, basically. So, I'll take that, drop it back in the ladle, and there should be enough heat for you to see it now I fucking spelled it. Remelt. So that's what we're dealing with here. Something that now I've just created a problem. But you'll see this how quickly this melts. It's awfully fun to play with. And now I've got a piece of clay in there, so that's not fun. I'll pause it, melt this, and like get it back up to a temperature. Otherwise, the key won't cast properly. Now, I really should actually have this casting box the other way around for this, so I'm just going to hold it on a funny angle while I do this. Which may or may not be to my detriment. But it did fill up and overflow, so that's a good thing. And I didn't bother to use that little bit of metal that was stuck on the back either. So hopefully I'll be able to keep this short and sweet. So, and for the wax, I'll just use just a little frag. So when I made this casting box, how many years ago, I filled it up with wax to do some wax stuff, and I realised the wax really stuck, and I thought, hang on, this is a good filler, and the silicone lifts off it nice and easily. So, it's a bit soft and shitty looking for my liking. Like I said, that had a bit of clay in it, so, you know, this key already has contaminants in it now as a result of that. But it's winter, so it's nice and cold. Hopefully there's a fucking key in there. Yay! We didn't get a full... Can the metal still melt? Oh my, well, it conformed to the shape. Let's just start nipping this up and giving it a tidy up. Trying to keep this up where you can see it. So I'm just going to do the usual bullshit now, which is get the box out of the way. Run the key over this file, which is the key I would use for the file. Might be an old rusty bastard, but it's good for things like this. But you don't want to ruin a good file by filling it up with a soft alloy. I have a Grobert that I do clean them up with, but one of them I've kind of squared it off a few years ago when I dropped it. Or poked something with it, whatever happened. I do believe it encountered some gravity. Let's just see if this works all by itself, despite all the fucking drama we had the other day. Doesn't want to go in yet. Right. That may have something to do with these guys here. Oh, you can't see that. So it's cleaning up the gullies. There's one up here too, so there's some careful attention needs to be paid to that. And remember, in this whole process, the point is, does a silicon cast still do its job a year or two later? I'll leave a link and the URL to the other video when I initially opened this in the description. Obviously the bottom of the key has to be flat, but we don't want to take too much material off there, otherwise the bitting will be all wrong. Now that's made a funny yeah, we'll see how we go. As I said in the previous videos, a lot of the work is just prepping the key so that you don't break it, as you saw me do in the beginning of the video. But that key had been in the lock a number of times. Doesn't want to go in, don't force it. So on that note, we'll pull that back out. A bit thicker around the bow. It's important to get an even pressure, hence why I've got my fingers covering the entire key. And you certainly don't want to slide off like I did there on the bitting side. So the unfortunate side effect of this is the something doesn't want to go in. Maybe we needed to start touching the key up a bit. At the angle. I'm doing all this in front of you rather than having a look under the loop. It was a bit rough. And bear in mind, I have already done 2 videos on this, so, or 3, including this, or 3, well, including this one. Still a bit sticky. I would put that down to the warding in the middle, so give that a little bit more attention. Doing this the closest to the edge of your bench is preferable. The other thing too is doing this puts warmth into it, you know, via the friction, which you may or may not want to do. Well, you don't really want to do with something that, as I think I said in another video, that's how magicians do the teaspoon trick with fusible alloys and metals. Let's see if that goes in without still getting hooked up around there. Although anything forcing these does not help. Oh Jesus, we're up to 20 minutes almost. My loop is in the other room, so I'm not going to save it here. Let's see if the camera can do it on the back of this. It's done it before. Hopefully it can do it again. No nasty ridges. Maybe she's just too wide around this part of the key, so still kind of read Medeco in it. Kinda, if you squint. It may also be the bottom of the key too, so we'll give that a little bit of attention. Not too much. I've also found that this section here can always do with a file. feet. The perils of trying to fuck around and make pretend keys and then sort of impression it all at the same time. That just does not want to. What is that in? I've taken too much material off it. Okay. A quick decision has to be made here. It's going in. Just do that a few times to see if we get some impressions on it that are worth looking at. Okay, so there's our open. I'm not even going to see if it opens counterclockwise, because I could spend another 5 minutes ginning around trying to see whether it does. And, well, there we go. Just be a bit quicker than the pins, or the springs I should say. Okay, so that should complete part 3 of the comparison. Yeah, of the clay versus the dental putty. So, you know, ultimately both will get an open. However, as I said in the other videos, and this will be part 3, I'll stick a little information dot up here or wherever the hell it goes. The URL link to the other video. But if you want to be able to use your casts a year or so, or sometime down the track, that's awfully handy. You know, like you could even just take copies of your own keys in the case that you lose them. If you didn't write the bitting down, or I don't know. Obviously, this is a hobby of mine, playing with chemistry and metallurgy. Not to be used for nefarious purposes. It goes without saying. On top of that, I know some locksport people don't even like talking about this sort of stuff, and that's why I don't participate in the forums. Yeah, ask for a little bit too much information when all I want to do is talk about locks. So I don't need to know your life story. You don't need to know mine for us to have a conversation about locks. So yeah, and on that note, for the people who are happy to have a conversation, I'm happy to have that conversation with you, wherever it may be, online or in person. For those of you who watch this that I personally know. Thank you, big Mr. Diesel Engine, for going past exactly when I want to turn the video off. So anyone who watched, thank you for following along. That's just my take on it. And yeah, for all the times you've seen the green, that's what it's for. Look, a little an emergency repair. Or if you wanted to even take a wax cast of the key for lost wax casting. So I've got the gear to do that. I just haven't actually. It's not something I can do in here, and I'm going to have to shoot it during the day outside, and that'll depend on how windy it is and all sorts of other bloody variables. So I'll get that to you at some point, because what I want to do is cast a brass key for one of these locks. Anyway, I've rambled on enough. This will be part 3. The last video where I open this with the key with the tension wrench, which is this one. It's a little bit, that's that one there. I'll put all that up, and hopefully it should be fairly succinct. I did delete one of the videos, but there was another one, so I thought, well, if I just stick that at the front, it shows you how to load the box up with clay and all that. Really simple to do. I think I've put the file on Thingiverse. I'm not sure. I can't remember. I'll have to check. But really, it's pretty idiot proof. I could put the dimensions in the comments, and you could go to a hackerspace, and they might be nice enough to print it up for you. You know. So It's 2 or 3 years old now, or however old it is, and it's cast a lot of keys successfully. So there's fancier things around on the market, but this works. So it's not fuck, don't fix it. That's my mentality anyway. So on that note, happy picking, keep it legal, and to anyone who watched, thank you very much. Hope this was of some help to you. To the people who did ask questions and were interested in this, it's not something out of your reach, put it that way. $6 worth of clay, if you can find yourself a box that's easy to make. The putty is a bit more expensive, and the woods metal will set you back a little bit, but it's reusable. You know, this is like a $2 ladle or something like that from somewhere online in the middle of the night. I bought 4 of them and I've given a couple away. Anyway, have a go at it if you feel like it. Peace, happy picking. Catches.